Yep.
Anybody else who could potentially opt out? Or
not right now. You know, the big blessing about that is both of those guys that had kind of been in the works before any practice has started. So we've been able to plan and be able to move forward accordingly before practice had even started at that point in time. And so I know it was going to kind of get released a little bit later on, but we had kind of known that had been in the works, and we had planned accordingly.
What does that do to the depth at those two spots? Because obviously, I mean, you know the receivers as well as anybody. You basically got 4 guys who've been playing now available, and the secondary 5.
Yeah, no question. Well, at receiver, you still got a lot of young guys that play a lot of ball. You know, you got Dante, you got Chris, Seven McGee stepping in, you know, playing in the slot, and obviously he played a bunch of ball the past few weeks. You got Isaiah Crocker, and all those guys, man, have had extremely good bowl practice and bowl preps to this point in time. And then, you know, it does make you a little bit thin at the corner positions. You know, all you have is right there. You have Dante Manning, you have Triquez Bridges. Both of those guys are right now. They're in there to start at their respective sides. And then, you know, Avante Dickerson and Darren Barker is going to have to play a lot of ball, and that Jalen Davies and things like that. So, you know, just depending on you going into your depth a little bit, and that's what college football is right now at this point in time. You know, at this point in time in the year.
Are Ryan Walk and Steve Stevens practicing?
Not right now. They haven't up until to this point. Like I said, of the guys that have been out, Bennett Williams is the closest to being able to help right now.
Not expecting those two to play in the bowl game?
Yeah, they would be questionable at best.
Keith Brown also.
Same.
What have the last since we talked to you last week, what has the film sessions been like looking at an Oklahoma team that's much different than they were at the beginning of the year, and how much more in depth is that kind of process for you guys?
Well, you do your best assuming as possible, right? They're going through the same stuff that we're going through, that a lot of teams right now are going through in college football. So you have to go and you're going deep into the film, and you're really just, as Coach used to say, man, burning your eyes up on the film and trying to see every nook and cranny of who could potentially be stepping in at certain spots, and who's giving them depth at those certain spots that of guys that have vacated, and just playing accordingly from that point on. That's pretty much all you can do.
How pivotal is it for Anthony to develop chemistry with some of the receivers, considering all the changes around him?
Yeah, I mean, it's critical as it always has been. You know, the good thing is, like I said, a lot of those guys have been repping with Anthony and all that other stuff before. So it's not like he's repping with a brand new receiver that he's never thrown to a day in his life. You know, that's not the case at all. So those guys being able to come in there and being able to kind of connect and everything else, I think has been really, really good. And I mean, we've had good bowl practice up until this point. I mean, we just need to keep progressing, and keep doing like we have been preparing up here until this point. And I feel like you know, it gives us a good chance to go out there and play well.
How many cuts do you have of Oklahoma's defense with all of those guys out at the same time?
It'll probably be none, to answer that question. But it will at some point in time, with all of those guys out at the exact same time. I would say it'd be none. But at some point in times, there are guys that are, you know, at one position or another that have gone deep into depth for one reason or another. That it kind of gives a little evidence of whom they might be thinking of playing a certain spot. So that, like I said, that's kind of what you're going into schematically. You know, I don't see, you know, I mean, you have a good idea. You would like to think you have a good idea of what they're going to be, but bowl games are different, man. You kind of got to expect the unexpected. So you really just try to go and try to make sure you're as thorough as possible. They're looking at everything, and like I said, just doing everything you can do to put your guys in the best possible position to play well.
There has been so much influx with the program here. How do you feel about your guys' ability the last few days to really focus in on Oklahoma and compartmentalize a little bit?
Yeah, I've been really pleased with the guys in that aspect. You know, I challenged those guys in pretty much the first meeting that I had with them, that the programs that handle this the best is the programs that have the best chance to do well. And I feel like the guys have been able to keep the main thing. You know, that's something that's what we've been talking about. I mean, we're going over there regardless. December 29th, they're teeing it up, and we're kicking it off. You know, and so we got to go out there and make sure that we're ready for that point in time. That's what we've been working all year to do. We earned this opportunity, and we need to make sure we're doing everything we do to take full advantage of it.
Who asked for NFL feedback? Guys like Dorless, Verone, Mace. Did anybody ask for
I mean, I would have to look and tell you. I do know that for sure that has taken place. But to give you exactly who it was, I don't think I can do that accurately right now, to be honest with you. But those names that you mentioned, I'm pretty sure are some of the few that have. And so, like I said, I mean, that's just something else that I feel like we provide, that we do a really good job of providing. Just because when guys try to make that decision, you just try to make sure that they have an informed decision.
This is such a weird year.
Yep.
Have you guys gone through, or are you leaving it to the next step in terms of the juniors and that they're auto in, like they're not declaring, they're auto in and they have to opt back if they want?
Yeah, I'd be honest with you, outside of what's going on with this bowl game, you know, that's kind of a hard question to answer. You know, like I said, that'd be something that Coach Landon can answer best, to be honest with you, and kind of see how he'll go about doing those things.
Can you speak to Isaiah Crocker's journey? Because he wasn't even seeing snaps until I think the first Utah game, and suddenly he's playing quite a bit. What's kind of gone into that?
Well, I think just his progression. He's a guy, man, that's had to endure just the whole growing pains of learning and growing at the position, and he's done a really good job of that. Going and being able to see other guys go out there and play and know that you still have some room to grow. And putting all the other stuff aside and being able to go out there and do it every single day. I think that speaks to the person that he is. I think that speaks to the player that he wants to be. And you know, just to sit up here and say how proud I am of an individual, to kind of go through the frustrations of that and still being able to go out there and put that stuff aside and go out there and work his tail off, man, to try to gain all the experience and all the playing time that he has. And so just really, really proud of him. I can't say that enough. And you know, like I said, I mean, he's had a really good bowl practice up in there to this point. So just have to do a good job and make sure that stays on. That stays a continual thing, you know, week in and week out, day in and day out.
Michael Pittman had expressed his reasons for making his decision, but also said the wide receivers as a whole, the room is frustrated at points this season.
Sure.
How did you manage that over the course
of
the season?
I would say, I don't know. I mean, I think you would have to ask those guys a little bit more to see how accurate that is, to be honest with you. But I do think, you know, I mean, I'm happy for him. I was very happy to be, you know, to coach Mike and, you know, wish him nothing but the best and a bunch of success over there in his journey. So, you know, like I said, I mean, I think you would have to ask those guys a little bit more and to see how accurate that truly is.
Have you made a decision on your future? It's out there.
Sure. Well, I'll say this. I don't know how much is out there is actually true, to be honest with you. You know, it is the frustrating thing about it and disappointing thing about it is, you know, regardless of how some stuff came up, which I still don't know how that happened up there until this point. I think everything did get rectified and in that sense. And so the thing that's frustrating though, man, is that, you know, I haven't even thought about it as much as some of the other people have. I mean, my focus has been on these guys, you know, and it's not right for those guys to be able for my focus to be other places. So I haven't done it, you know, and it's not right to be, quite honestly, for my family to try to make a family decision while my focus is on the guys right now. So I feel like anything that's out there right now, it did not come from me, and it's not. I would, you know, not to sit up here and say one way or another, but you know, it did not come from me. And like I said, I mean, however all that stuff came out there, I think it got rectified. And you know, shoot, man, like I said, I do look forward to being able to make those decisions. I just feel like it'll be a hard decision to make right now while my focus is solely on these guys and making sure that these guys have a positive influence. Like I said, so I don't want to cheat them. I don't want to make a bad decision for my family because my focus is so much on these guys right now. So I feel like there'll be a time to make that decision. Right now, it's not it. And so my focus has been on these guys because I feel like that's what they deserve, and I feel like that's the best possible way to make a decision for my family because, you know, I can have a time to kind of step away from this to being able to do that.
You talked before the season about how important your recruiting efforts were, particularly this past year, the three freshmen you have. You obviously had a lot of efforts this year. How do you feel about how it, because things unfurled the way they did, a lot of the work that you put in may not necessarily materialize in the way that you were envisioning?
Well, I think, I mean, that just comes with recruiting, you know, comes with college football right now. I just think where college football has gotten has kind of made the early signing period a little different than it was when it originally got put in place. Now, whether that'll change or not, I mean, I'm a low man on the totem pole when it comes to that, and I can't speak for that. But I just think that's where college football has gotten right now. And you know, with coaches making decisions, with players making decisions right now, I think everybody's going to have to adjust a little bit to it. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to feel good all the time, but I just feel like that's where we are. So to sit up here and say that it's not frustrating to a certain degree, because relationships are built in recruiting. I mean, it really is. And so at the end of the day, you just want them to be happy. You want to make sure that everybody's in a good spot and everybody's happy, but it doesn't make it any easier to kind of go through.
Something that's worked in the process of the early signing period, is it maybe more beneficial to have it at the start of the season or not at all?
I don't think I don't know how wise it'll be for me to answer that question, to be honest with you, but I'll say, like I said, I just think it's in a different place right now from when it first got originally put in to where college football has kind of evolved to. And not just that, but I mean, just it's changed so much, in the past few years. I remember my last time, I was just talking about this, my last time I was the interim head coach at the University of Georgia. I mean, there were some first rounders over there on defense, and I mean, there wasn't even a thought to opting out and all that other stuff. We played in the Tax Slayer Bowl, you know, and so, but now, I mean, if I would get put in that exact same position, would it be the same? I'm not sure. So I just think just where college football has gotten right now, and that was just only 7 years ago, you know. So just if you just look at kind of where college football is evolving from year in to year out, I mean, it's just. I think, you know, that constantly needs to be a topic of conversation of, you know, I mean, how can we make the rules kind of adjust to it a little bit if need be.
In the messaging that you have for the team, how much of it is, for this game ahead of it, is redemption or things about the last time out versus getting to 11 wins and that kind of achievement? Like, what is your kind of bullet points, your points you're hitting on?
Well, it's a lot. But I'll say this. The main things is that we've earned this opportunity to go out there and play. To play a really good team. I mean, it's not like I said, it's not like we're playing some chopped liver now. We're playing the University of Oklahoma, and so that team deserves all of our attention, all of the respect, all of our focus right now. And so the thing is you know, we can't let, you know, one of my messages, we can't let people that's not here affect the people that are here. And so right now, man, we owe it to everybody that was in there to go out there and do the best that we can for each other. Because right now, man, that's what we have, and we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to that opportunity to go out there and play with one another, to go out there and have an opportunity to play against the University of Oklahoma.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks.